which is MN502. So our title is Ericsson Schools District Network Upgrade. So the people who are presenting is my name is Siddharth, and my teammates are Saket and Simran. So what's our assignment is that the report outlined is design configuration of a new wired and wireless network infrastructure for Ericsson School District. There is a school district is there which want to establish a new networking system. So this current network is plugged by performance issues, which has so they want to upgrade the system. So how we are going to do, we are explaining now. So what is the network design overview which we took is that the wired network and wireless connectivity scalability, because the every kind of system schools contain different kind of networking. Though the network is totally one, it has different kind of needs which need to be distributed among the wired and wireless. So wired network is very common for especially the systems which we have labs and a few encrypted devices. The wide network is very secure one. Wireless one is for the public availability and scalability, which how can we expand the range of the systems. So for that one, for scalability, we are using the switches and VLANs, whereas for wireless we are extended to the inputs on input devices like the Wi-Fi regular systems. So, so coming to the next slide. So this is where we are configuring the IP address scheme. So as we previously said that we have the VLAN segmentation. So we are totally segmented the VLAN for the academic departments and another to HR and the remaining kind of departments. So where here the enhanced security and performance will be established. So whereas dynamic IP assignment DHCP is configured router, because here the IP address to the connected pieces will be allotted, and simplifying the management of IP addressing and ensuring the efficient utilization of the available address script. So then the section is, third step is the centralized management. This all these systems will be managed by centralized system, whereas through routers and VLANs. So coming to the network configuration, here we took as the approach like router configuration, switch configuration, PC configuration. Whereas we all know that the entire VLAN is dependent on the router, and the VLANs to connect to both we need a switches configurations. So this is the total diagram which we developed here. So if we see observe the common network topology, which means the elements of computer network describing how it is interconnected. So that's the basic idea of the network topology here. So whereas each topology has its own characteristics, but with both simple and effective, and mostly it is like managed depends on the central hub. That's what the main criteria here. Here we did have the switch configuration. You can see here the DHCP server and two switches here. So what kind of switch configuration, if you ask, is the process of setting up and managing the operational parameters and network switches to ensure optimal performance. These are the key things which ensure to make the optimal performance from the system, and segmenting network traffics and setting up security and control accesses, establishing quality services, which are the another characteristics of the switch management system. So, and then from switches converting to, we move to the router configurations. This is the router configuration, the code which we developed here, and the routing which it allows us to setting up and managing this managing of the routing settings and control flow of data between the different networks, because the which we previously saw that wireless networks and wired networks, here the data will be flowed properly based on these routers, and configuring the protocols and determining the best paths for the data packets which will be applied here, and setting up the firewall rules also is the most crucial thing in this aspect, and establishing the network address translations, NAT, sorry about my accent, and for managing IP addresses and configuration quality of services would be prioritized traffic here. So up to here which we've done. From here my friend Saket will take over. Saket, up to you, over to you.
Hello everyone, myself Saket Sonapwar. So I'm gonna explain about the DHCP configuration. DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. It's a network management protocol used to automatically assign IP address and network configuration informations to devices on network like computers, smartphones, and IoT devices. DHCP is nothing but it is like a traffic controller for devices on network. Instead of manually assigning each one of them. It automatically assigns them to devices, connects to the network. It also provides the configuration information like subnet, mask, default gateway, and DNS server addresses. This makes it easier to manage the scale networks, especially in large organizations or with multiple devices. Next slide, please. Now coming to the basic switch configuration. Configuration involves in a setting up network switch to enable communication between devices with the local area network, also known as LAN. Here, the key steps are physical connection, access to the switch, login credentials, and configure management IP address. In physical connection, we have to connect the devices switch using Ethernet cables and access the switch access the switch management interface using a web browser or terminal emulation software. Also with the login credentials, login with default username and password, which may vary depending on the manufacturer. It's crucial to change these credentials for security reasons. And coming to the configure management IP addresses, assign an IP address to the switch so it can be managed remotely. Now Simran will take over.
Yeah, so my name is Simran Sharma. I'm going to explain the server configuration guidelines. So, a server configuration guideline ensures that the system is secured, efficient, and tailored to the needs of the application, which involves steps like initial setup, network configuration, user access management, security hardening, application and database configuration, performance optimization. Now, moving on to the security measures, uh, it includes access control, encryption, and firewall. Access control, the network includes basic security measures such as password protection for the console and VTY lines, to which restricts the unauthorized access and ensure the integrity of the network infrastructure. Encryption will not explicitly mention in the input, but the design can be further enhanced by implementing encryption protocols such as WPA2 to secure the wireless network and protect sensitive data transmitted over the air. Firewall includes the router can be configured with a basic firewall to filter and control the flow of traffic between the academic and HR VLANs, providing an additional layer of security and preventing unauthorized access between the departments. Now, moving on to the next slide. The outcomes and limitations include immediate outcomes, future considerations, and limitations. Immediate outcomes involves the current network designs which will successfully address the performance and connectivity issues by implementing VLAN segmentation, DHCP-based IP assignment, and basic security configurations, which will provide a stable and reliable foundation for the school district's digital environment. Future considerations involves the school district needs to grow. The network design can be expanded to include additional switches, VLANs, and advanced security features such as redundancy, wireless access points to ensure the network's scalability and adaptability to meet the evolving requirements of the school community. Limitations which include the current design is that the limited to two departments, and further extension will require additional networks and infrastructure configuration to accommodate more users. Now, moving on to the next slide. In conclusion, we have created a stable foundation, scalpable solution, and continuous improvement, which stable foundation. The Network design provides a stable and reliable foundation for the Herrick School District. Scalable solutions mean the modular and expandable nature of the design allows for the future growth and incorporation of additional features. Continuous improvement includes ongoing monitoring, maintenance, and strategic planning that will be crucial to ensure the network's long-term performance. Now, moving on to the next slide. So the future next steps would be network expansion, enhanced security, wireless connectivity, and continuous monitoring. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.